everyone, InfiniteCaz here, and welcome back to another video. As you may have seen, I've made a video or two about competitive Splatoon, or more specifically advice to people entering the scene for the first time. I've discussed the ins and outs of tournaments, but I've yet to go over Scrims, a vital part of any team's journey into competitive. Today, I will be giving you a detailed guide regarding Scrims, what they do, how to organise them, and advice for how to play and behave when participating in one. I have a lot of experience when it comes to Scrims, but in no way take my word for gospel, as I'm not a high-level player with 5+ years of Splatoon experience. However, in no way do you need to be the best of the best to understand how Scrims work, and I hope that this video can help you in some way. With that out of the way, please like and subscribe as it really helps me out, and let's get right into it. So what exactly are Scrims? They are organised games that take place in private battles, usually between two teams of a similar level. They're the main way that teams improve, and Scrims can be held for many reasons. Maybe you want to practice a specific map or mode, a team comp, or prepare for an upcoming tournament. Scrims don't have to have a set goal, mind you. Often it's just to gain experience fighting a fresh team and seeing how you perform. Because Scrims are in private battles, you can be much more flexible with what you play and such. You can also have a spectator, like a coach, that can give you feedback after the Scrim itself is over. The biggest upside to Scrims, in my opinion, is being able to fight the same team over and over. This gives you a chance to look at how you play against set team comps, as well as look for patterns and strategies to outsmart them in games. You can also replay matches if you think the game was especially unfair, or you simply want to try another team comp. You often will scrim a team with a set of maps in mind, for example the low ink or looty maps, as preparation for the tournament. If you want to perform well in an important match, it's so crucial to go through them and figure out team comps that will work in whatever situation you may find yourself in. Often there are 3 types of teams you will face in Scrims skill-wise, those below, bang on, and above your team's level. All 3 types have their benefits, and it's crucial to know when they help you. Scrims against lower level opponents are great if you've taken a break, have a new member, or want to try out some weapon comps. You would want to do the vast majority of your Scrims on your level, as they usually have the best matches, and both teams are able to benefit from the practice session. By being evenly matched, you still have to focus 100% of the time, but being able to win games and have intense matches are crucial parts of an effective Scrim. There are times where you may want to scrim opponents on a higher level, but it's crucial to go into it with the right mindset. Be prepared to lose most, if not all the time, but take each loss as an opportunity to look at what you did wrong and hopefully improve. However, often a higher level team is just mechanically better than you, and there's little you can do to gain a win. Being destroyed isn't a good idea for keeping a positive attitude, and often if a Scrim seems to go nowhere, it's best just to end it and look for an opponent on your level. For low level teams, I would advise searching for new teams that haven't had a looty division. If you're new to competitive, I wouldn't assume you are a certain looty div, but set a goal and try working up to Scrim opponents at that level. So that's a basic run over of Scrims, but how do you find them? They are arranged over Discord, usually between team captains, either beforehand or on the spot. Sometimes, you will hear of a team that seems like good opponents, then contact them through their server or DMs. More often than not, you will search for a Scrim through a server, which have dedicated channels for Scrim searching. Examples include the official Looty server, or Splatoon Discord servers, like that SRB2 dudes. Just type in the @ there may be a little info about the skill level you wish to fight. You can either wait on a DM or look at the other people in the channel that may still be searching and DM them instead. There is another type of Scrims called pickups, where someone will search for 3 random players to Scrim together, maybe because they don't have a team or want to play with slightly higher level players. There are usually dedicated channels where you can ask for extra players or put yourself forward as a +1. Which are helpful if you want to get noticed in the competitive scene, or simply play with and against a variety of people. Pickups are usually not about serious practice, but more an alternative to solo, where you can play with similarly matched players and work on specific skills in a more competitive environment. However, I would advise low-level players to stray away from them at first, as you rarely find people new to the comp scene in a random pickup, so I would find someone that has experience to go with, especially if it's your first time. Pickups can be very daunting, and it's always nice to know someone that you're fighting with as a morale boost, or to help your confidence, especially in a VC. Scrims usually last from about 30 minutes to an hour or two, but it depends on what both sides feel like playing. I wouldn't force yourself to keep going in a scrim if it's getting late or you're playing poorly. Either ask if someone can sob out for you, or request to finish the scrim for the time being. After your scrim, especially with your team, I would take a look back at the matches and see how you can improve from the day. If someone has a capture card or recording software, be sure to watch over the scrim and see what you could have done differently to avoid defeats, such as how you defended a huge push, or coordinating your specials when taking back control. If the people you scrimmed were particularly good opponents, it's worth messaging them to ask for a rematch, or if they would be interested in a future scrim. Arranging scrims in advance is a great way to keep a schedule, and if you need preparation before a tournament, a scrim partner is amazing for that. So lastly, let's go over how to play in scrims. How serious you take the practice is up to you, usually depending on how well you know your opponents and how skilled they are. If you know you're most likely going to lose, just try to keep a good mindset and go into each match as fresh as you can. It can be hard to stay as coordinated and focused as possible when you're getting picked off every 10 seconds. On the opposite side of the coin, if you're fighting particularly easy opponents, don't switch off entirely, but try to work on simple things and give them a good fight. If your opponents are too easy and you're inclined to mess around, just end the scrim and look for another evenly matched one. I would have a rough idea of what comps you will run when going into a scrim, but depending on the comps they run, you may want to change your top on the fly. For example, if they don't have an anchor, I often run the Hydra in zones, because its biggest weakness, charges, are not an issue, so you can outrange everyone and get an easy win. I would look for patterns in your opponents at the start of games, so if they rush into mid, you may want to get a flank off in the early game, or if they play very defensively, you know to put more effort into offense. A good idea is to quickly go over the last game in between rounds and discuss any glaring issues that you can squash for the next match. Try to make each loss a learning opportunity instead of getting frustrated. And if you feel like you need a break, don't worry about stepping back for 10 minutes and getting something to drink, resting your mindset. If you keep losing, you'll just play worse and worse. There's no pressure to keep going, unlike in a tourney, so as long as your opponents are flexible, don't worry about not playing rapid fire games. I would try to get scrims in the early evening, when you have no real life priorities and it's not too late for anyone on your team. Playing tired is not a good idea. It can often leave you disorganised and affect your mechanical skill in game when it comes down to reaction time and coordination. You want to be in good shape when scrimming, as an hour of good focused practice is so much better than several hours of going through the motions. Dedicate your practice time wisely, and make sure not to burn yourself out by scrimming day after day. Know your limits as a player, and for your sake, don't overstep it. The best way to improve by scrimming is to do them in moderation. Enough that you're experiencing a wide range of situations that can help you improve, but without added stress and possible burnout. So I think that's about it, and I hope I covered everything that you should know about scrims. If you want to improve in competitive, being part of the community is a must. Meet new people and gain valuable experiences from them. With that being said, thank you so much for watching until the end, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. We're on the long grind to 1k subs, and I would love to have you here. And with that all said and done, I will see you all next time. Bye!